I'm gonna try it, and I'm pretty sure that view is gonna be epic. But damn. One of my favorite places in all of Oregon. I've been here like maybe 10 times, and it just never gets old. It's just so freaking beautiful. But I came up here to specifically target 2 shots that have been eluding me for like 2 years. Such a beautiful place, so let's see if we can go nab it. And there's the loveliness called Sahaley Falls. I've actually got to work pretty quick because I thought it was going to be an overcast day today, but it's actually going to be sunny. So I've got maybe 2 hours before the sun gets into this forest, so I'm going to try to maybe go downstream, maybe down that way, and see what I can get. The tricky part about this shot is you are like 2 feet from the river. So one misstep and there will no longer be a Stanley Paul photo. So that is the tricky part of this shot. That's why it's been evading me for 2 years. Let's do it. This is really the only time of year when you can do this, when the Mackenzie's really low. Otherwise all that down there is all underwater. But look where we came from. Ay, ay, ay. You can see the shot I'm going with. Kind of like that. Pretty cool, huh? And normally to get this nice blue water in here, I'm going to underexpose and bracket so there'll be no mistakes. Much harder to photograph and film at the same time, being a one-man band and all. After 5 hours, 6 hours of driving from Bend, we are at Bandon, but Ma Nature wanted to take another turn and be really foggy, and it's just not going to happen for sunset. So I do have like 4 hours, so I think I'm going to head south like 80 some odd miles to Brookings and see if Mr. Fog goes away. Day 2. And I did not sleep at all last night. I got maybe 2 hours of sleep, so I am completely zombified. AKA needing Joe and a cup of coffee, which is where I'm headed now. Good news is I looked up and out the window and I saw no fog. I saw stars, so yay. So let's hope we get a pretty decent sunrise. Off I go to see the Cup of Joe Wizard. Hakuna Matata. Wouldn't that be cool to get to that cave? Only at low tide though. Pretty stunning stuff. I was on my way back up to the viewpoint, and check out what I found. A geocache. And that has to be the most scenic spot for a geocache I've ever seen. Kudos to you guys. Whoever set this, you know who you are. So I picked this spot for sunset because I have several things I could go with. Like the one right behind me is my main focus that I want. And then I can shoot this guy back here. Isn't he pretty? And then I can shoot this back there. So there's several options that this little point gives me, which is why I figured I would choose this one. I had another little beach down there that I wanted to shoot, but I think with the, who knows what kind of clouds we'll have in marine layer, I think that'll be pretty cool. So I found a pretty cool spot for sunrise tomorrow, but check this out. Now, if you can envision that view, it's pretty cool, right? But the only way to get through there, get through those trees that are containing our view, is to go right out here. And I'm like shaking in my pants right now, just right here. Because that down there and that down there, if you fall in there, there will no longer be a Stanley Paul photo. But it looks like the only way to get to it is right there at the edge of that tree. And when you look out, you can see the view I'm going for. Man, that's scary. What would you do? Jesus Christ, so I'm gonna be hugging that tree tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try it. And I'm pretty sure that view is gonna be epic. But damn. This has been a long and exhausting sunset, let me tell you. A little bit of a marine layer back there, but not too bad. So it's looking to be pretty decent. Just ready for it to be over. I'm a mountain desert boy, but there's just something so therapeutic about the sea. So day 3, we're at Sister Rock State Park, and sorry I didn't record anything last night or this morning. I finally had a chance to sleep for 7 hours, which is something I desperately needed to do. But once we get down there, we're gonna tell you a little bit about the meaning behind this trip. State Park, and the real reason why I've taken this glorious coast trip, because as a mountain desert boy I normally don't get out here very often, but this is my last big photo trip of the year 2018. Reason being because I am actually expecting the birth of my first little one in December. So when I get back, it's all about focus and concentration and seeing if I can actually be the best possible person that I can be for my little one. And a trip like this is definitely invigorating, it's mind-blowing, and it puts things into perspective. We saw grand redwoods, we saw this coastline that's just epically awesome. And it just puts things into perspective about how I think we can all kind of just learn from our past, learn from our trials and tribulations, if you will. Try to be that better person for someone else, and that's for my wife and for my daughter that's arriving in December. So things are just really glorious right now, really happy to be here. You know, for the longest time I always thought about what would happen if the day came that I was going to be a father, and the day that I could actually pass on my wittiness and crazy quirks to another generation, if you will. But when the moment finally does arrive and you find out, it's just mind-blowing. There's really no words to describe it except wow. So if you will, this trip is just a mental preparation of what's to come, of great things that are to come in my life. And photography will always be around. Photography will now be a hobby. It will be something that I enjoy, and hopefully that my little daughter will enjoy in the future. And these are all things that I can look forward to, along with all these awesome views and the places that I can take you along to see. So it's just really nice to be sitting here listening to the crash of the ocean and taking in the lovely surroundings of what's to come. The question of the day is, do any of you have children? And if so, how has it impacted your life? Like how much different is your life compared to before you had children or before you had the news of your little one? So I'm just curious to know kind of what I'm in for, and these celebrations and all the other great stuff that's going to be going on. So do any of you have children? Well, compared to Friday, this is a huge difference at Mandan. So this sunset should be awesome tonight. I'm like, I don't know, many moons, many hours before, so this gives me at least 5 hours to scout out. I've never been here before, so it gives me 5 hours to scout out where I'm going. I'm just blown away, and I can see why it's a photographer's dream paradise, because I mean, there are so many compositions you can do here. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, you've got all those stacks there. You have Wizard Hat, obviously, you can do. You've got those guys there. You know, if you go over here, you've got those ones off in the distance there. And just like even right here, this foreground that you got with this column of water coming in. Just so many things you could do here. It's just amazing. But I can now see why everyone comes to Bandit. Wow. Awesome. Lots to choose from. The lighting's actually going to be pretty good. These clouds are going to stick around toward out there. That's the north, that's the southern, toward the southern coast where I just came from. And that is north. So there's a lot more over here. So I'm thinking I'm going to go back and see if I can aim my shoot that way. So probably the hardest part about being a photographer, and you can ask any photographer this, is scouting. It's actually the most fun too, in my opinion, because there's no pressure. It's just more of a mental game, thinking about, anticipating stuff. But really, scouting is the hardest part, because you have to pretty much get your knowledge right before the actual main event happens. So I'm thinking for this one, might actually be pretty good, because I'm going to walk around here and you check this out, right behind me, you have this wall. See this wall right about here-ish that runs up and down? I'm gonna maybe use that to frame up Wizard Hat. And this sand here is probably gonna be covered up by high tide, or at least out to there, kind of in the mid-ground. So it actually should work pretty well, especially if it has just been high tide, and maybe I'll have a pool of reflection coming through here, you know, right about here. So I'm thinking that'll work out pretty well for sunset. Well, since I chose Wizard Hat as my shot for sunset, I'm just really looking around for like cool foregrounds. Like this little rock here would be cool if I can get it vertical, you know, kind of looking up like that. Maybe that could be a cool spot. There's another one right there that looks pretty cool. So I'm just really looking out for foregrounds and just getting the scouting thing out of the way so I can finally be here, you know. I've driven a long way. See, I'm thinking even this would be nice, you know, just straight on reflection, a single-handed reflection of Wizard Hat, just to kind of get that iconic shot. I'm not really one into photographing trends in the often money shot, but I think while I'm here I might as well. It's probably going to be a while since I come back here, so let's just go for broke. So I'm hoping my prediction's right. I don't do a lot of ocean seascape photography. Again, I'm a mountain desert boy, so I'm kind of out of my element. I'm hoping with just my past of some ocean scenes that I can hopefully nail this down. I've only got one shot tonight at sunset, so let's hope Polly does it. So I've got two possible outcomes for tonight's sunset. Okay, one, it'll go epically well, and the other one will go epically awful. Awful meaning that I'm gonna misjudge the composition, the tide, all that kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be right on it. High tide's also gonna give me a chance to maybe do some reflections in these pools, because if high tide goes all the way back there, some of those pools are gonna settle in, and if those clouds stay how they are or more come and roll in this way, bang, perfect reflection. If not, I can always move more toward the surf, and I can grab more of those long, flowy, wide-angle shots or a panorama. So now that scouting sunset tonight is complete, we're off for tomorrow for sunrise. The only thing I wish is my wife was here. I mean, she would love this, but she is. We are 7 months along right now, so she cannot make this drive right now. Yeah, baby. We'll get there. But that's the only thing I wish, you know, being a father and everything in the next 4 months. The only thing I wish that this trip could be better is having her here. But it's okay. It's alright. I'm gonna bring it home. So now that scouting's all done, I got lunch right here, soda, and I have got 4 to 5 hours before sunset. You're like, damn, Paul, why are you here so early? It's Sunday, and more than likely there's going to be a drove of photogs rolling in here right at the last minute. So what I'm going to do is basically head down to my spots and just hang out there, read a book, chill out, veg out, and life's good. While the others scramble to find a spot, I'll be right there. So life's good. Let's have lunch. Headed back down to the beach, and it looks good so far. There's clouds that way, and the maker and breaker of deals is right out there, and I see no marine layer, so we're in good shape. Yes! So I just got done shooting over there, and it looks pretty sweet, but if you come back this way, looks like that sky is going to light up that way, so I'm walking back toward Wizard Hat. You know how I am about crowds. I prefer not to have them, but not too many photogs out today. I saw maybe 2 or 3. So maybe it is a good thing it was foggy on Friday. Everyone went home, so. Okay, so like we talked about, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this shot here of just Wizard Hat by himself, and I think I'm gonna pan over and grab some of that guy. Something over here. So I'm gonna try to do a panorama with these 3 stacks here, and then just Wizard Hat by himself. That sky is going to be pretty cool. Any day, not cloudy on the coast is awesome. Oh, this is going to be great. once that sun goes down, we'll be able to really soak in those waves with slow shutter. It's just a little too early right now for that. Wow. Here's what our sunset's turning out to be. Pretty amazing. I'm waiting until the light gets better. I really want to catch those waves, really slow them down. And I can't quite do that yet at 1/10 of a second. So we're just waiting out the times. All I'm doing is just shooting, just rattling off shots. And even if that wave comes in, it's kind of like a surprise. You don't really know what you're going to get. That's a big one. Great way to end the coast. From oceans to pine trees, high desert pine trees. That means I'm back home from my trip yesterday at Bandon. What you don't know is on that last frame, when that big wave came in, completely destroyed this phone. Destroy meaning it was acting kafugula and it didn't know if it had a brain. So this phone actually has taken a 12-hour rice bath and is finally back from the dead. So that's why I'm back home and you don't see any more footage of the coast, because this phone paid the price. I turned my back on the sea, like that old adage said, and she came back and just bit me right in the... Sorry, phone. But as you know, this trip was dedicated to my unborn daughter, little Amanda Otter Sebesta. She will be arriving here December 28th. It is my firstborn, so who knows when she'll be here, but December 28th is the magic number. And I just have to say, little one, I cannot wait to meet you. I cannot wait to see what things that you're gonna bring to the world. And just looking out at the sunset, you know, I can just envision and imagine all the possibilities that are gonna come for me and for you and for our family, because of the things that you're gonna accomplish and the things that hopefully I can help you with, and some of the things that you just are gonna change the world. I just cannot wait to meet you. So little baby Amanda, this trip and this video was for you. I cannot wait to meet you. I cannot wait to start our life together. And I love you, little baby, to the moon and back. So, and for you guys, thanks so much for watching. You can find me on Instagram at StanleyPaulPhoto or StanleyPaulPhoto.com. But for now, here are all the images taken on this trip. And we will see you later. Hakuna Matata. Bye-bye.